Welcome to Crucial Podcast. I am the Matt Bailey.
And I will one day be known as Ellis Gainsborough.
Coming to you live from Odentown, Maryland.
And Powder Springs, Georgia.
We have some fast food to talk about.
Yeah, we were talking about chicken.
Yeah, let's not talk about chicken for a minute. Let's talk about, I have two more subcategories I really want to throw on you. No, three. I have three subcategories I really want to throw on you. The first is what I call the breakfast first places.
Okay.
This one, Chick-fil-A, is in a dual role here, but I picked out Chick-fil-A, Bojangles, Hardee's, and Martin's.
Yeah.
Because when I think about those places, I'm really thinking about breakfast.
Okay.
Bojangles is a revelation to me. I hadn't had Bojangles since I was probably 8 or 9 years old. I moved to Augusta, Georgia. I lived in a small town called Grovetown. The only breakfast restaurant they had there, other than McDonald's, was Bojangles. I said, well, let's go get a Bojangles biscuit. Fucking amazing. Their chicken biscuit, their steak biscuit, their cheddar biscuit, everything they had. Oh, you want the Bowberry, which is kind of like their version of a dessert breakfast biscuit? It's a biscuit with blueberries and white frosting baked into it. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. Do you have breakfast places like Hardee's? We could talk about Hardee's as a whole, but when you think of Hardee's, you think breakfast, right?
Yeah, I haven't eaten at a Hardee's in a long time when I wasn't eating breakfast.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like Hardee's but Hardee's burgers are actually great.
Yeah, they're good. I don't really have the stomach for them anymore. They're a little excessive to me.
They're excessive. They're big, especially the Frisco burger on the sourdough bread and stuff.
Yeah, Hardee's kind of gets off on being an affront to those friends we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. It's like, we just came out with the heart-cloggingest, grease-slappingest, biggest mushroom burger you've ever heard of. Like the burger with chili on it.
It's like the burger with chili, bacon grease, and chitlins.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell was going on with that?
So I have a Hardee's story. So there's our good pal Keith Spillett, who runs the website tyrannyoftradition.com, a fantastic satire website if you've never read it. He likes diets. And so I think it was 2004, he got in the Atkins thing.
Yeah.
And he and I just hung out a whole lot that summer. And so Hardee's, for all their fat boy shit, really got in on the Atkins diet.
Really?
So they would take their whatever most bodacious burger, but make it Atkins friendly. So instead of being with a bun, it would be wrapped in lettuce.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, so you'd have like this massive burger, bacon, cheese, all this shit wrapped in lettuce, and you would eat it. And so I kind of, like, as a solidarity thing, did the Atkins diet with Keith. I was like, oh, you're doing that? I'll do it too. And the Atkins diet is fucking crazy. Have you ever done the Atkins thing?
I remember y'all kind of going through a phase with it. I don't get into diets very much. I'm very much a calorie count. I'm going to do, what I need to stay where I need to stay, but I'm not going to kill myself or worry about every now and then going out and getting something that doesn't fit a scheme or whatever. Plus, like, ever since my surgery,
What surgery?
My major surgery where I lost the colon.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know that you don't.
Right. No, I'm with you.
Our internet. Man, I know I used your name, so I'll try to get better about that. But check this out, dude. I know you don't have a colon.
Yeah.
we have an international audience. We're platinum. We have at least 1 million listeners here, so they don't know about
No,
your
yeah,
colon.
no, that's what I was saying. I got you. So on top of the colon, also lost a good bit of the end of the small intestine, and so I don't absorb as many complex carbs as most people, to my understanding. So it's kind of like I'm sort of half on Atkins all the time. Like sugar,
You're in a permanent state of Atkins.
well, to a point. Like I would say, like 35% of my carb absorption, complex carbs, because you drink sugar, it's just going to go right into the blood. But
right to your
yeah,
hips.
or wherever it goes. Never where you want. But the complex carbs and stuff,
Sorry.
it's okay. But the complex carbs I don't absorb as much of, so I don't have to really worry about bread products and things like that. Although I get it, I get the carb thing, and it wherever you find, I'm with Atkins on this account. Say you like, oh, I'm going to cut out soda, or I'm going to cut out dessert. Something that I do almost every day that's setting the baseline. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm not going to get McDonald's breakfast every day anymore. I'm all for that, but the Atkins thing, like you said, it seemed really bad in concept, like, and the way that people adopted it and how they interpreted it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Atkins diet is insane. So my buddy got me on it. He gave me the book. He goes, just read it. And, the whole deal was you have a phase called induction. You do 20 or less grams of carbs a day. 20 grams of carbs, you come to find out, is nothing. But you can eat as much as you want. As long as you don't go over 20 grams of carbs, you can eat all you want. And so you're talking lean meat, eggs, cheese, all this stuff. You can eat all you want. The thing about the Atkins diet is you lose weight on it. So if you're like a prize fighter, or if you just need to cut weight for some reason really fast, if you got a wedding coming up and you're trying to fit into a dress for the ladies or whatever, cool, do the Atkins diet, because you will cut 10 pounds, 15 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's insane. But you're hungry all the time, and you're not allowed caffeine on it.
Right.
That's what was the killer for me. But I did it to be in solidarity with my friend. And, you cut a ton of weight. You're hungry the whole time. And oh, by the way, as soon as you start eating carbs again, you gain it all back.
Yeah, and like I said, you get the same. I would almost say, instead of going Atkins, where you just like, you're all of a sudden super limited on what you can eat. You always have to be that guy or that gal that, oh, I can't eat there because of the bun and all this nonsense. If you just cut out the drink, you're probably going to make that up anyway. If you just
long-term solution.
Yeah, but
long-term solution, we could all, this is a big tangent that we're on right now, but long-term, if you want to cut some weight, look at what you eat. Just map out what you eat for a couple of weeks. And then you're going to find something like, oh, I do this, or I do that. I drink 3 Cokes a day, or I have 2 Little Debbies with lunch every day, and you're going to find some places you can cut, combined with just a little bit of exercise. You're going to lose some weight. But the Atkins is awesome for, hey, I need to lose 10 pounds fucking fast. It works.
Yeah, it does. But like you said, the minute you start eating normal, because what you're doing essentially, there's and I'm pulling this out of my backside, but there's basically like 3 major types of fuel that you run on, right? There's the short sugar, the simple stuff, the sugar, the fruit, that kind of thing. That's the quick energy, right? And then you have the long-term energy, the complex carbs that you store up, and your body goes to that as basically it's the diesel in the engine. And then you have the protein, which is for your bursts of activity and things like that, which I think I'm pretty on the money with that.
And so you cut
you're cutting out one of your 3 major energy stores.
Well, you're exactly right. And so it takes about 2 weeks. It takes about 3 days to actually start losing weight on
Right.
it. It's called the induction
Yeah.
phase. And that's where your body burns off all the stored complex carbs. And when it doesn't have complex carbs, it immediately cuts to fat.
Right.
It's going to start cutting fat right away after 3 days. Yep. And so it's I mean, it works. It's tried and true. And the way the Atkins thing is supposed to work is you have your weight. So say you weigh 200 pounds and you want to weigh 170 pounds. And you start for the first 2 weeks, it's called induction. You get 20 grams of carbs a day. You eat mostly vegetables, lean meat, no caffeine, a lot of water, a lot of leafy greens, because you can get constipated real fast on the Atkins diet. And a lot of cheese, stuff like that. Where your body doesn't have those complex carbs to cut anymore, it's going to go to its next available, easiest resource to hit, which is the fat. It's going to burn all your fat away. And then what you're supposed to do in the diet, because it's supposed to not be a diet, it's supposed to be a lifestyle change. You start upping your grams of carbs by 5 grams per week until you kind of reach a maintain phase. So it might be 60 grams, 120 grams, whatever it is of carbs per week. But it's just not something sustainable because ultimately I'm a nachos man and I love eating some nachos.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, that was a long divergent on breakfast food fast food places. Hardee's. So the funny thing about Hardee's is I think of Hardee's as a breakfast place. I haven't had Hardee's breakfast in years.
Every now and then I do. It's not as good as it used to be, honestly, because like when I was in school in Chattanooga years ago, well, it feels like the way before now, but I would go to Hardee's, and this was when I was just recovering from my surgery and I was fighting to put on weight. I would order a fucking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from Hardee's, which is the size of a boogie board. And then I would get a large thing of those hash browns that they used to have. The little, they're like little hash brown dollars, like silver dollar size. And
same as.
And I would also get the Frisco breakfast sandwich, which was great. But
yeah, it's a huge meal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I would do this 4 days a week. But, like, I can't do it anymore. At Hardee's now, I'm lucky if I can finish the one biscuit. And the other thing is, the other breakfast stuff, like the Frisco sandwich, the last few times I've gotten it, it's been kind of lean and dry and not really that great anymore. So you might be disappointed if you hit up Hardee's for breakfast soon.
Yeah. And once again, Carl's Jr. for the non, for those of you that live in that part of the world.
Yeah, sure.
But yes, it's just weird how you have those places like Hardee's that you just think of as a breakfast place. Honestly, if I got to pick any breakfast place, Bojangles has been a revelation to me. But Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit or the chicken minis, it can't be beat. I know I talked a lot of shit about Chick-fil-A and their creepy 14-year-old, blonde Hitler youth that work
It's
there.
my pleasure.
Yeah, true. Kathy and his nonsense. Chick-fil-A breakfast is awesome.
You want me to deal you a nice fucking fasting inside on this one?
Go ahead.
I hate Chick-fil-A breakfast. What? I detest it. I've never once. I've eaten Chick-fil-A breakfast. I've been forced to about maybe 4 or 5 times in my life, and it's always been awful. I hate it. I would so much rather.
It's the same chicken that's on the
sandwich.
It's the same chicken that's on the sandwich, man.
Yeah, but getting a fucking seeded muffin or croissant with egg and chicken on it and cheese, it's not my jam. And their chicken nuggets at Chick-fil-A, I don't really like. They're not great. They look like they're great, but they're not. I would much rather have a processed chicken nugget from McDonald's any day of the week.
You just turned a 180. You just turned a 180 on Chick-fil-A. So you're going to McDonald's for breakfast over Chick-fil-A.
Hell yes.
Man, you are an enigma wrapped in a riddle, my friend.
I don't know why it is. All their bagel sandwiches and stuff I just think are gross. And like in the morning, their food's just not as good. I don't know if they make it by the batch more than they do lunch, or if maybe it's always good because lunch is so busy. But I've never had a good Chick-fil-A breakfast.
Oh man, I dig on some Chick-fil-A breakfast. Man, you are weird.
So I'm tough, but I'm fair.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm going to take Chick-fil-A breakfast over Chick-fil-A, which to tie it back in, why doesn't Zaxby's do breakfast?
I don't know, but I don't want them to.
Yeah, I mean, but wouldn't it seem to make sense?
I mean, right now we kind of went through a weird phase with fast food in general in the last few years, where for a while there were like 4 or 5 major chains staying open till 1 and stuff. Do you remember that? The age of the get everything at night? Like every
Yeah.
Walmart, Kroger, all the fast food chains would be open till 1 or 2.
I'd say it's still going on, actually.
To a McDonald's
kind
now
of
is
the
all
norm.
day, any day.
Yeah.
And
Wendy's is open late. I mean, some places you're not going to get too late, but
not as much as you did a few years ago. I think that they just figured they can't pay people for all that time. It just wasn't worth it to them. But Taco Bell, your special category case, just recently got into the breakfast game.
yeah, I haven't done their breakfast yet. Have you done it?
It does not interest me much at all. If I'm going to do breakfast in a drive-thru, I love McDonald's breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
The skillet burrito or whatever they call it. Sausage burrito, that's the one. I like that. And
I don't do fast food eggs, man. Period.
my go-to is a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
I can't. I know. No. I don't do fast food eggs ever.
Huh.
Ever.
Really?
Yeah, fast food eggs are disgusting.
So what you're looking for in a breakfast place
It's a biscuit, a chicken biscuit.
Okay, just a plain old chicken biscuit, or like just
or a sausage or a steak biscuit. Yeah, and their hash brown.
or just their lunch food early.
No. I want a biscuit.
That's so weird. Do you also get the plain biscuit?
At most places, no.
Yeah.
But at Bojangles, yes.
Really?
Oh, man. Bojangles plain biscuit? Get out of here. It's amazing.
Oh, I was actually just joking.
Yeah, I would. So, like, if I go to Bojangles, I'm going to order either a steak or a chicken biscuit with an extra plain biscuit on the side.
So let me get this straight. I'm a fucking communist.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a fucking communist for putting vinegar on my fish, but you're that guy in the car like, yeah, I'll take a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, and I'll take chicken biscuit. I want a plain biscuit with some butter. And can I get the grape jelly?
No one said anything about butter, man. Biscuits are like steaks. If they're good enough, you don't even need a condiment with them.
Nah, I see. I would argue there is no fast food biscuit that good.
Have you ever had a Bojangles biscuit?
I have. I've never had it plain, but I wouldn't want
haven't.
the biscuit without anything in it.
You haven't. So, you're just speaking from inexperience here.
Okay. I'm going to run out right now and go get some plain biscuits.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, go get a plain Bojangles biscuit. And I'm telling you, it's outstanding. And, that's just the bottom line on that. And the last place I had listed that we didn't really talk about much was Martin's. Did you ever do the Martin's thing?
Martin's, yeah, Lily's big on Martin's. I'm not. They stick to your ribs a little too much for me.
Yeah, I like it. I like Martin's. I haven't had it in a long time, probably about 10 years, but I have a good perception of Martin's in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal with Martin's too, and here's the clinch. When you I don't know about in Maryland, but on Saturday morning, the typical day where you're not going to work, you want a biscuit, I'm going to go Martin's for breakfast at 10:30, 9:30, whatever. You, and this is kind of hinting at what we're going to get to with our final point, which is when we pick on a particular establishment, you will wait for, I don't want to say on average 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get a Martin's biscuit.
Wow, really?
Around here, the only two Martins there are three Martins that I've frequented. There's one between Powder Springs and Civilization, and there was one in Villarica,
Okay.
which you're very familiar with.
Yep.
And there was one out on Holcomb Bridge Road toward 85. So north on 85, right?
Roswell-ish.
Yes, in the
Georgia.
Roswell-ish area. And
Okay.
all three of them, I would never go in the drive-thru unless I was planning to wait at least 20 minutes.
Wow.
Because they're slammed and they actually cook their food on demand.
Wow.
So they get backed up like crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't know. Like I said, man, it's actually probably been more than 10 years. It's probably been about 15 years since I frequented Martin's, but okay, I guess I'll take that into consideration when I go. And not to belabor Martin's, because it's fucking Martin's, and who really cares? There's two more subcategories to get to. There's Taco Bell. Let's just have the Taco Bell talk.
Okay.
Taco Bell can either be the best or worst decision you made in a day.
Yeah, it can. You mean just like overall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Taco Bell can ruin your perspective on life.
It can. Like, well, again, because I'm missing the whole lower part of the whole digestive tract there. A lot of the issues that you run into with Taco Bell,
you don't have an anus.
I don't have that issue. But I will say, if I eat Taco Bell, I'm probably going to eat a lot of it.
You have to.
Yeah, or else why? It's the sackful conundrum.
It is. I mean, if you go to Taco Bell, you're going to sit there. You're going to have your order's going to take a minute. Yeah. You're going to go, I want two of these. Let me get two of the tacos. Let me get the 3 of the Dorito tacos, 2 gorditas, 45 of the cinnamon crunch wraps, 12 of these, and it's never going to cost more than $8.
No, but you'll just come away with a backpack full of crap. And so I'll be in the bathroom every 5 minutes, just because I have an ostomy pouch. And the fun thing about that is if you have the particular variety that I do, you have no control over when you have to see to it and go to the bathroom. So with Taco Bell, you're going to overeat. So if I haven't eaten Taco Bell by 9, I'm probably not sleeping that night. So, I can sympathize. I can empathize with, I've heard it affectionately referred to as the taco shits.
Yeah, Taco Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taco Bell's Mizuma's Revenge.
Yeah.
So I can empathize, and it is a factor.
Yeah, I mean, and it's always there. I mean, I don't know. Taco Bell's one of those things that, once again, for me, is typically a late night kind of drunk food, and you're riding in the car back home from whatever amazing bar that us and our friends are hanging out at, and you just go, hey man, you want to go get some food? Yeah, fucking Taco Bell. You give me some gordita crunch wraps, and you pay for it later though. You always do.
Yeah, you do. And the other thing, because Taco Bell is a franchise.
Yeah.
Just like with Burger King, or Wendy's, if you have a bad Taco Bell, just cut your losses. Because if you have one bad experience at a Taco Bell, it's good. If you have a bad experience at a Taco Bell once, you're going to have a bad experience at that Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well,
every time.
Point, in college, we lived kind of on the border of Stone Mountain and Decatur, Georgia, and the famous Taco Bell on Memorial Drive. And we would be sitting around, be drinking a lot of beers, and say, well, we need to go make a Taco Bell run. Yeah, what do you want? Oh, I want 76 tacos. And we'd get the order. And the famous experience where we went through, we ordered at the drive-through, correct?
Yeah.
And they couldn't get the drawer to open to give us our change.
Oh, you're talking about specifically that night.
Yeah, that night.
Oh, yeah, that was by far one of the worst experiences at a drive-thru I had ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go ahead, tell the story.
No, so, like, we pull up to the box, right?
Yeah.
And our buddy who was, I'm just going to say he was doing okay. I didn't worry about him driving. But he gets up to the box, and it was, hey, Taco Bell, what do you want? It wasn't like, can I get your order or anything? It was like, what do you want? And and our buddy goes, do you accept debit cards? And then the next thing out of the box was, yeah, is that going to be all? Like, yeah, I'd like to order some food. So
yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we get up to the window, and the dude's trying to pry the drawer open with a spatula.
Yeah, well, we placed our order. We waited in line a long time, and we ended up coming up with the cash we needed to pay for it.
Yeah.
And our change was something like 38 cents.
Yeah, or like a dime or something like that.
It was in the cents. It was less than $1.
Yeah.
And you're right. The dude was literally sitting there with a spatula trying to get the drawer open. And then his manager came up. And the manager said, how much change you owe him? He's like, 38 cents. And he goes, you don't need 38 cents? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck it. Let him go.
Yeah, fuck it. Let him go.
Yeah.
Like, literally telling us to get out of here. Don't you dare wait around for your 38 cents.
Yeah, and to him, too. Like, these people don't give a shit.
The only problem was we didn't have our food yet.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that was the... And he's like, well, at least give us our food. All right, man. And we got our food and left. But, yeah, you're right. Taco Bell, I've never gone to a Taco Bell and went, oh, man, exquisite service.
Right.
All right, so as I get more sick, there's just one more subcategory of fast food I want to talk to you about. And then I promise we can be done with this topic forever. We're not going to go down the list. We'll probably end up going down the list. But my intention is not to go down the list. Do you consider sandwich joints to be fast food places?
I think fast food you kind of have to have a drive-through. I think so. What's a prominent fast food joint that doesn't? Like, that's kind of how I separate a Moe's or a sandwich. Well, again, gimmick, right?
I mean, you do drive up, I guess.
You do drive up.
Okay.
Your intention is not to stay.
Okay.
Most times.
So here's what we're gonna do then. We're gonna save sandwiches for another time in another place. Because there's some things I really want to get to on the sandwich side, particularly with Subway. You know, if you say they're not fast food, I'm willing to accept that. But we're gonna come back to it, okay?
Okay, yeah. For the record, yeah, you can lump Subway in, but just because
I'm not gonna lump Subway in because we could talk for hours on Subway alone. So that'll be, a mini series that we do here on the Crucial Podcast.
Yeah. Look forward to our 14-part series on Subway and what they did wrong all their life and what they did right for 8 minutes in the early 2000s.
Yeah, the Great Cucumber Conundrum.
Right.
Okay, so we'll forget. When I brought up to you, I said, "Hey, man, I want to talk about fast food." You said, "What was your initial reaction other than yeah, cool?"
Oh,
you really, yeah.
It was immediately we have to completely fuck up Steak and Shake.
Who does have a drive-through?
Yeah, that was again. We have to totally take the shit out of Steak and Shake.
You and we don't always agree, but we both hate Steak and Shake.
I hate Steak and Shake so much.
People love Steak and Shake.
They do.
Not only is the food awful, you will not get good service at a Steak and Shake. If you go to their drive-through, you will run out of gas.
Yeah, yeah, they need to have people handing out water.
I,
You
Steak Shake,
you get home faster in snowpocalypse.
yeah. How does Steak and Shake stay in business? They have these burgers that are incredibly thin and disgusting. Their fries taste like doo doo. Their shakes aren't even that fucking good.
Now, especially nowadays when you can go to Cold Stone or wherever frou-frou yogurt shop, that's I'm sure there's 7 within your field of vision right now if you're listening to this.
Yeah, you can go to a gas station and get better milkshakes than you can get at Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
I hate Steak and Shake.
I think that the Steak and Shake thing, at least around here, well, let me ask you a question before I even say this. Is that popular other places? Does it exist where you are?
I haven't seen one in Maryland yet, but it doesn't mean they don't exist.
But is that like a Southeast thing that...
Man, I have no idea.
Yeah, me either. I think that Steak and Shake is one of those places that runs on a perception. Like it's not really fast food because you have to wait so long and...
But it's awful. Like, the food's not even good. Their burgers are not good.
Yeah, I would go to a Sonic any day over. If I was driving down the street, right, and on the left there was a Sonic, and on the right there was a Steak and Shake, I would whip to the left so fast. I'd go to Sonic twice, even without the roller skates. I'd go to Sonic.
Yeah, I'd go to a funeral home before I'd go to a Steak and Shake.
I would go to a private dog biscuit shop.
I would go to a fire factory. And then I would jump in the fire. And I'd get burns all over my body. And then I'd go to a burn ward. Before I went to a Steak and Shake.
I would check myself into a hospital and get an IV feed of protein before I would eat Steak and Shake.
I'd go to Kmart.
And buy a frozen dinner from Kmart.
Yeah, I'd go buy one of those Vita Pups from Kmart.
Oh, dude, that's so great. Do you remember the Kmart in Carrollton and the shithole popcorn machine? The shithole popcorn machine, and you'd have friends that, like, when their parents, like, we got to make a run to a store, like, we got to go to Kmart and get the icy and the shitty popcorn.
Oh, that popcorn sucked.
I know, but better than Steak and Shake.
Yeah, I'd rather get diarrhea from Kmart popcorn than go to Steak and Shake.
So, all right, furthermore to the quality of the food, furthermore to the fact that you're paying too much for a milkshake that's, let's be fair, it's decent. It's a decent milkshake. It is not an artisan, handcrafted fucking dessert.
It's a milkshake.
It's a milkshake, exactly.
Yeah.
But the wait times. The last time I went to Steak and Shake, somebody I knew had a coupon. And they wanted to use the coupon. And it was like something like, get a free straw when you order $40 worth of food. And what staggered me were, and I don't know if you had this, but when you were waiting for the window after you ordered, so this is 45 minutes into your wait, you finally come around the building.
Yeah.
They had posters on the wall advertising the wait times.
Oh.
Like, even so far to have, and I wish I could look this up and show it while we're talking, but they had like movie critics on it. They had like Roger Ebert, like, well worth the wait, and all this stuff, like, done like movie posters. And this was like, I don't know, it's like waiting for a ride. Like, I've never done this, but it would be like waiting for Magic Mountain at Disney, where they're like, "Oh, you have to stand here for 4 hours." So here's a clip from Cinderella that you can watch on the TV. But like these posters were advertising like it's so worth the wait. ... And yeah,
which like okay, if you went to the Steak and Shake drive-through and they had on the menu, oh, there's a blowjob from Scarlett Johansson on the menu. And you're like, oh, fucking awesome. I'm going to order that blowjob from Scarlett Johansson. And you pull around the sign, and it's like a thing of her and the fucking Avengers. And you're like, oh, man, she looks great. This is going to be awesome. And then you finally get there. She gives you the blowjob, and it's awesome. Okay, fair enough. It's not.
No.
That's how they advertise it. It comes out and it's a dude named Biff who has braces.
Oh, God.
And scars you up pretty good. You're like, God, that was awful blowjob. I didn't even finish. I just wanted it to be done. I just kind of shook for a minute. I was like, oh, thanks, man. You know, his chest hair is getting all over your freaking pants. And it's bad.
Yeah, it does feel that way. I remember we pulled up around 10, and it was like, I looked down at the dashboard, and it was like 10:38, and there were still 4 cars ahead of us. And I was like, oh my God, let's just drive away. This is awful. Can you imagine if McDonald's came out with a new ad campaign and like, to bring you better quality, we are introducing new mandatory wait times of 17 minutes. We know that this will improve your McDonald's experience. And
their argument against it was, no, the quality of the food is that good.
Yeah, but no. It's just, we're advertising longer waits. Like, it just blew me away. Like, and let's say this, okay, maybe Steak and Shake, not a drive-through place. It just happens to have a drive-through. Even then, it's kind of like a family place. Like if you go to a mall, like if you have a shopping mall around your hometown, and they're always going to have like a $3 cafe or a $6 burger joint or something like that. It's that kind of atmosphere with kids just running amok and stuff everywhere. It's just an utter chaos. You know, like I just don't get it. The kitchen's right out there is making all the racket. I just don't understand it. The only good time I've ever had in a Steak and Shake is I was actually outside of Valdosta.
Oh.
And they had an Area 51 machine.
Oh.
And I got to play it for 8 minutes. And those were the only good 8 minutes I ever spent at a Steak and Shake. And then I had to eat the food.
Yeah. Wow. I had this Steak and Shake one time and I got to play a pretty obscure arcade game. And then had to taste their product, and it made me happy that I had my anus removed.
It will do that. I think it suffers from the same cost as Taco Bell without any of the reward.
I think we've scraped the bottom of the barrel when it comes to fast food. I think everyone's going to know where we stand. If any of you are still listening at this point, God bless you.
Well, what you don't know is I'm going to edit this down to 20 episodes.
Yeah, send us money.
Yeah. Yeah, pay us to cut it up. Pay us if you we're going to have we're going to have a PayPal donation button to shorten our episodes.
Yeah, write us a check. We just talked for hours about fast food.
And you can pay us a nominal fee to not hear most of it.
Yeah, if you don't pay us enough, the coughs are going to be in there. Because I'm coughing a lot, man, and, you got to pay to take those out. That's a quality version. Well, that is a crucial podcast for this week. I am the Matt Bailey.
And I will one day be known as Ellis Gainsborough.
Just reminding you that anything can be crucial. Have a great week.